Hi, this is Mike with Ketorific Journey. Welcome back. I plan to share a few things with you that I learned and wish that I had knew before I started my journey to lose over 100 pounds. So stay tuned and I'll let you know what they were. Welcome back. There's a lot of things that I've learned while I've been on keto. I did a lot of research before I started, and I've learned a lot of things since. I've done a lot of research since. But there are a few things that I wish that I had known before I started keto and before I went on this journey that has ended up with me losing 110 pounds so far. It fluctuates between 110 or 115 right now, but I'll take it. So, first off, never compare yourself to others. You're in this battle against you. It's not. They lost this, they lost that, I only lost this. There's no such thing as I only lost. You lost. Period. It's all in how you look at it. You need to wait to start intermittent fasting and 1 meal a day, or OMAD. You'll see it abbreviated as IF and OMAD, OMAD. They are very, very great tools to assist in weight loss in your journey to lose weight. But don't start them right away. You got to let your body adjust. You've got to let your body adjust. It is just important that you do so. Make sure the next item is make sure that you do intermittent fasting and 1 meal a day, at least at some point during your journey, because it does help tremendously. Don't start it until you've been on it for at least a month, maybe 2. If you want to stretch it to 3, it's fine. No need to rush, because when you do start it, you're gonna love it, and it is gonna make a big difference. But it will not be something you will love if you start too soon. You're gonna hate it, and it may drive you away from this diet. Just know you're going to experience body dysmorphia. It is just a given. You can't. I don't know why it happens, but it does. The only way I can tell that I have lost weight is in looking at a side-by-side picture. I still feel like that man that weighed 350 pounds. I still see that man that weighs 350 pounds in the mirror. So take before and after pictures. Take before and do the before measurements. Use Photoshop, whatever, and do a side-by-side comparison of the photos. It will help you. Let's see. Weight loss is not the only goal you should have. Don't let that be your primary reason for doing it. Do it to make you a better person, to make you feel better, to make you look better, things like that, whatever it be. But don't let it be just for losing weight. Because if you do that, every time you step on the scale, then you're not down pounds, you're going to feel bad. So you've got to come to the realization that I'm doing this for many, many more reasons than just losing weight. Now, people say don't step on the scale but once a month or once a week at most. I do it every day, but that's fine, and that doesn't bother me when the scale doesn't change. That's not why I do it. I do it to keep me honest, to make sure that I do not eat more than I should in a given day. And if I do, I can correct it the next day. That's the only reason I do it. But, it may be you only need to weigh once a week or once a month so you feel better on it. Okay, food is not your enemy. Food is not your enemy. It is not you and food at battle with each other. It is you and your way of thinking and your way of eating that you are at war with. You got to change that way of eating. The food itself is not the problem. Maybe the type of food is the problem. But that doesn't mean food is the enemy. You just have to learn to make substitutions and go with the other stuff that is good for you and better for you. Losing weight is not going to be quick. It will not come overnight. You didn't put this weight on overnight, so why are you expecting to lose it overnight? It takes time. And if you look at things realistically, you're going to see it. You're going to notice it. You're going to feel it. So, what you got to understand is, I don't believe in using the word only when describing how many pounds I've lost. Oh, I've been doing this diet for a month and I've only lost 8 pounds. That's the wrong way to look at it. It is, wow, I've only been doing this diet for a month and I've lost 8 pounds. Now, let's look at that 8 pounds in a month. There's 12 months in a year. 8 times 12 is 96. 96 pounds in a year is pretty significant. So it's all in how you look at it. If you lose 2 pounds a week, there's 52 weeks in a year. That's 104 pounds. That's significant. So it's all in where you place the emphasis on things. Don't sell yourself short on what you're doing. Every single pound you have lost is worked for. You gave up things for that pound. Rejoice in that pound. Don't feel bad in the fact that it's not more. Feel happy. Rejoice that you have lost that pound. And see it as that's a pound I will never, ever see again. You've got to give yourself time. You've got to give yourself time. If you think that you're going to come into this, I've seen posts on Facebook. Let me tell you this way. I've seen Mike can't talk. I have seen posts on Facebook that where people say, all right, I got to lose 20 pounds. What's the fastest way to do this on keto? Talk to me, people. No, you've come into this with the wrong attitude. You have come into this with an absolutely terrible attitude because this is more than this at, and you've got to give it time. For anything to work, it's going to take a little time. Now, you do have some folks that have a large amounts of weight they lose really fast. More times than not, they started out with a whole lot more weight than you lose. The more you lose, the faster the more you have to lose, the faster you can lose it many times at the beginning. But as they get down closer to where other people may be weighing, it's going to slow down for them. At some point, it's going to slow down because the closer you get to where you want to be, the harder it is to lose it. I speak from experience. You got to figure out what works for you. Is counting the carbs on an app what works for you? Is counting them in your head what works for you? Is doing low carb what's worked for you? Is doing the dirty keto what works for you? Is doing strict keto what works for you? You got to figure that out. And whatever it is, that's what you go with. Don't worry about what everybody else is saying. Don't worry about what the keto police are saying. Don't worry about anything but what works for you. You got to be prepared to change your lifestyle and your eating habits. The standard American diet is, as far as I'm concerned, is trash. For me. It works for other people, but it does not work for me. My problem is I have portion control, and I cannot control it without a lot of help, and I have to hide stuff from myself so I don't eat it. So, just know that you got to change your eating habits. If you come into this, I got to know what all the treats are for keto. I got to eat. I got to do it. You're going to have to change that because junk food is still junk food. Is it going to be still, it's going to be less bad for you than the regular junk food. However, it's still junk food and it will be bad for you if you have too much of it. So you got to practice portion control, and you got to figure out how that you can help yourself practice portion control. So look at it realistically and try to figure it out. Look for the substitutes. Google, what can I substitute for this? What can I substitute for that? Cauliflower is a great substitute for multitudes of things. But there's other things too, because you may not like cauliflower, but there's other things that you can substitute that will be something you might like. Okay, you got to keep it simple. Do not complicate things. Oh, you're going to hear dogs. They just came in from walking. Don't complicate it. Keep it simple. Don't try to make things harder than they are. And lastly, trust the process. The process works. You just got to trust it. And the longer you take to trust it, the harder it's going to be for it to work for you. So just trust the process. If you fall off one day, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Just hop back on. The thing to do is to make sure that you didn't fall off for a whole month or so. So that's what I wish I had known. I hope it helps somebody. I hope it brings someone closer to what they need to know. And I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for coming along with me on my journey. I hope to put out a couple of cooking videos real soon. So stay tuned. I got a couple of really good things I want to try and cook. Some of them time savers, some of them just good recipes. So this is Mike at Keto Journey saying thanks for watching, and let's be careful out there. You video bombed me. Oh, did y'all see that? She video bombed me. Oh, thanks for joining.